In this industry, you can't trust anybody. Like, I'm on the other end of the most diabolical people daily. I'm in the most hostile environments, the most hostile panels, right? I'm always completely surrounded. I've never seen any of you. Where the hell are you? Well, you're siding with our enemies because I'm too mean, or Crowder's too mean, or anybody who defends themselves is too mean. Why don't you show us how it's done? And they're nowhere.
Andrew, when I look at your eyes and I see you in different things, or even when you walked in here, you have a look. Your eyes have a look, and there's rage behind it. Okay, that's the look you have. Why do you have that look?
Rage?
Yeah, you have rage. There is a certain look where it looks you're skeptical always, and you have rage and a look that you trust nobody.
Well, maybe to an extent. In this industry, you can't trust anybody. You probably know that well. I've noted that there have been many hit pieces on you. And the more famous, and the more famous you get, the more there'll be. Same here. I have tons and tons on me as well. And one of the few people in this industry that I do trust, you probably know Steven Crowder, right? I saw what these people did to him. I saw what they did to him. And I saw what the people who were supposedly on my side did to him. I call them the Sewing Circle Christians. And these people do basically keep me in a continuous state of rage. And the reason why is this. It's like, I'm sure you've heard the Teddy Roosevelt, the man in the arena speech, right? That's what a guy like Crowder was and is. The man in the arena. Just everybody's a critic, And I remember when that video came out, that they spread it everywhere. His political enemies, his ex-wife, all of them just spread it everywhere, right? He's an abuser. He's a this. He's a that. And I'm like, I remember watching that video and thinking, that ain't even that bad. That ain't even that bad.
In the backyard of the house.
Yeah, I was like, man, I've been in worse fights than that with my old lady. What are you talking about, right?
I actually agree.
Yeah, I was like, I've been in worse fights than that with my old lady over way less. Over way more petty stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's like, and the thing is, it's like all these holier than thou people.
This guy, this clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all seen this.
Yeah. And it's all these holier than thou Sewing Circle Christians are like, how could you endorse an abuser? How could you defend an abuser? How could you do this? And I'm thinking, shut up, you lying snake. Like, there's no way you're going to convince me that in the course of your relationship of 20 years, that if we had cameras on you at all times, we're not going to find this moment times 20. It's going to happen. Just shut up.
100%.
Yeah, just shut up. Stop bullshitting me. You know what I mean? But the thing is a lot of those people who are the critics, let's say in your case, my case, Crowder's case, many others, a lot of that, I think, comes from a position of jealousy. And it comes from a position of envy. And because of that, these people, all they do is criticize. But my challenge has always been to the Sewing Circle Christians, well, where are you? Like, I'm on the other end of the most diabolical people daily. I'm in the most hostile environments, the most hostile panels, right? I'm always completely surrounded. I've never seen any of you. Where the hell are you? Well, you're siding with our enemies because I'm too mean, or Crowder's too mean, or anybody who defends themselves is too mean. Why don't you show us how it's done? And they're nowhere. They're nowhere. In many ways, I respect leftists who will engage on their ideology, right, and engage on the arguments much more than I respect my own side of of which has many of these Sewing Circle Christians who refuse to engage, but instead just want to virtue signal to the audience. No, I'm a real Christian. You would never hear me say something so nasty and evil to a diabolical person who just told me they killed 3 of their kids, And I'm like, what? I'm supposed to sit there and go, oh, well, okay then. Let me pat you on the head and read gospel. That doesn't work. You have to destroy worldviews before you can replace worldviews.
Yeah, Stephen called me the day this was released. It could have been the day or the next day. And he says, hey, I just want to tell you, here's what's going to release, was already released. This is what really happened. I'm listening to him for 45 minutes. And the call-in's like this. I said, Stephen, you will never hear me comment on this. I said, we're not commenting on this kind of stuff. And Rob and I talked about it. Rob, if you remember, we're doing podcast prep. I'm like, this is really not a topic I want to talk about. Marriage is hard. People got to figure it out. Of course, if it's like, someone shot or something like that, okay, we have to comment on that. But an argument like this, let them handle it the way they did. I thought it got out of control, and it wasn't it became too much of a thing, because it was around the same time that he was negotiating the contract with, what do you call it, with Daily Wire, right?
Yep.
And where he came out and he read the contract and what they offered him and all this stuff, that we commented on. And I said, look, when you do something like that, I would be hesitant to ever making an offer to you. Because then it's kind of like, are you going to go share my contract with them publicly? But Crowder, to me, he's a guy that...
Yeah, well, Jeremy Boring and those people at Daily Wire shouldn't have been trying to negotiate with his ex-wife on the side.
We reacted to that God knows how many times, and then trust me, I don't think anybody in the market would say, we are best friends with Jeremy Boring and Ben Shapiro, and Ben Shapiro loves us. And it's like, no, I've been on his show. He's been on my show. Yeah. We invited him. He's canceled a couple times. Jeremy Boring's been on. We've had good conversation. Actually, Jeremy Boring, we had a very good conversation together. But I don't know, when the whole Candace thing that was taking place, everybody thought Candace is automatically going to come here. They blamed us for, this is what's going on. No, I'm on the phones. I'll help you. I'll help you. I'll help you. What,
sure.
Our enemy is on the outside. Sometimes the distractions. Can you tell me, while you're going through this, what do you mean by, did you call it sewing circle Christians got three? Well, who are you talking about?
Well, on my side of the aisle, most critics, right? Because I engage oftentimes, my argument style starts and ends with Christian ethics. That's always the viewpoint that I'm coming from, whether I'm debating politics, or I'm debating social issues, or I'm debating any of these things. That's my grounded foundation. So most of my criticisms don't actually come from leftists, though many of them do. They actually come from a particular brand of Christian. And I don't know what you would say, maybe virtue signalers, right? They're always trying to signal their virtues. And it's always like, oh my God, you smoke cigarettes, or, you drink beer. Real Christians don't drink beer. Like, it's always petty criticisms. But anytime there's controversy around me, or a clip taken out of context or something like this, these are the first people to rush in and give me universal condemnation, mostly so that my enemies will look at them. And these are leftists, right? They want leftists to look at them and think, you're the good Christians. And it's like the whole time. So in other words, the whole time these people are burning the whole forest down around our ears, right? And I say, hey, put those fucking matches down. They're like, hey, don't say the F word. I'm like, well, wait, we got a bigger problem here. We got a bigger problem here. Nope, you said the F word.
Yeah.
That's no good.
Yeah.
And so those people to me are like the lowest of the low of the low. Well, I mean, if you want specific names.
Specific names, if you're comfortable saying. Who are some of them?
So I would say people like Lila Rose, representatives like Lila Rose. I would even say, reps like Trent Horn, people like this. These are people who, they themselves may not necessarily levy the criticism directly, but it's the influence that they have over the various audiences that they have that then go and direct these criticisms towards you.
Got it.
Though I never actually see these people in the arena debating these social issues with anybody. They'll do debates, things like this, but I never see them surrounded with a panel of like the worst degenerates on earth debating all of their worldviews simultaneously. But they have tons of criticisms for people who do. And I'm like, well, where are you? Nowhere. And where are you, by the way, when anybody wants to debate you on why it is that you're so inactive when it comes to the culture war and social issues, right? They turn all that stuff down. They refuse to argue with the red pillars. They refuse to argue with any of these people. They literally just refuse to engage. Tons of criticisms, absolute refusal to engage.
Got it. So Lila Rose, one time I was on her show, this was about a year and a half ago, and we were talking about, I don't know how it came about, and I just kind of gave my view, and then she disagreed and went back and forth. I'm like, okay, yeah. And it's very obvious she's like the fully goody two-shoe, like everything I do right, that's what it is. But to me, I think there's a place for her as well. But guys like you, to become you have to have lived a life to get tough and be willing to go in the arena and be able to handle it. You just have to.
I agree.
You have to have lived a very, very rough life. And you don't just say, let me raise kids and make their life a living hell to raise a Andrew Wilson. That's not how it works. You go have a very, very difficult upbringing. You got this pain, this callous, this all this stuff that you've carried, and then boom. And you're like in fight mode and fight like, what's the next one? Who's the next one? That's not for everybody. You can't train her to be like you.
I agree.
Yeah. So, but I think there's a place for both of you guys. So,
and I even agree with that. What I don't agree with is if you're not willing to do it, shut your mouth and don't criticize then.
Got it. So if you're not willing to get in the arena, don't react and don't give your thoughts on what Andrew Wilson believes.
That's right. If you're not willing to do it yourself, and here's the thing, I've always had an open challenge.
That's never going to stop. The reaction audiences, that's a business model.
Look, I totally get it.
Yeah.
And I understand that this is something I'll always have to deal with.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean that I can't say publicly, well, show me how it's done then. Or, hey, many times we put the offers out. Then you come in, show me how you would do it better. And then we watch them fail and flop over and over and over again. It's not as easy as it looks, as you know.
Of course. And by the way, a guy like Steven Crowder, the same way he had a bad fall, he can make a massive comeback and be the main guy again.
Yes,
like at one point, I think he was the main guy. No, wasn't Crowder like the guy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
He was the
guy.
He's
coming back.
Yeah. No, I'm so glad he's coming back. I'm so glad like you can see the eyes, the eye of the tiger is back in it.
Yeah.
Like you can tell. You're saying you're taking some credit for it.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm literally kidding.
He's going to call you and he's going to say something
like,
to you.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
No, I think I've told Steven that I think that he's wasted. That he does best. The thing is with him, and I completely understand it, he's built a moat around himself. You know what I mean? And it's like, but that's not where you shine, man. You shine in that arena, engaging,
coffee. And,
fighting it out. Yeah. Like he's really good at it.
He is really good at it.
He's had tons and tons of guests coming in now, and he's duking it out with them, right? And he's doing it in the Steven Crowder way, right? It's both respectful, and it's insightful,
sarcastic.
Yeah,
the way he has to have all that together.
Yeah, and it's fun to watch. And he's a super smart guy.